Yeah. Good. Okay, I see a few left coming in. If I could have everybody take your seats. Good evening. I'm Evan Peterson, captain of the Ben Clark Training Center. For us, the position that oversees the Academy. I'd like to welcome you to this evening's graduation of Modular Academy, Class 22. You know, tonight represents the payoff for the hard work and dedication put forth by each of the recruits. I would now like to acknowledge the Academy staff who have worked so hard with this class. From the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, from right to left, Deputy Ashley Barker. Sergeant Christopher Turnus. And Corporal Christopher Biani. Thank you, TAC staff. Your dedication certainly noted. You know, I'm sure all of you are wondering what your loved ones have been doing over what, as many of you know, has been nearly a year-long process. I can assure you, they very much put in a lot of hard work and at times even had a little fun. Class 22 has prepared a video to show you some of the highlights of their training. We hope you enjoy watching the video as much as I know they enjoyed making it. If we could please roll the video.
Human beings in a mob. What's a mob to a king? What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer?
Class 22, being that they're so long, they sure did have a heck of a lot happen in our law enforcement community during that time. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and help me welcome Modular Academy, Class 22. Sergeant Turnus, please present your class. If I could have everyone remain standing for the invocation, presentation of colors, Pledge of Allegiance, and National Anthem. I'd like to welcome to the stage Chaplain Thimba Mzizi from the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, who will lead us in tonight's invocation.
Let us pray. Eternal Lord, we gather here today to celebrate the graduation of these men and women who have completed their training to become peace officers. We ask for your guidance and blessings upon this ceremony tonight. These graduates have committed themselves to the noble task of serving and protecting our communities. Their class motto is "United we stand, together we serve." We ask, dear Lord, that you watch over them as they begin their new career, and that you give them the strength, wisdom, and courage to stand united together as they carry out their duties with honor and integrity. We also pray for their families and loved ones. We have supported and encouraged them along the way. May they continue to provide love and encouragement as these officers serve others with distinction. We give thanks for the instructors, mentors, and staff who have trained and guided these graduates throughout their professional journey. May their efforts continue to bear fruit in the successes of these deputies and in the safety of our communities. We ask for your continued guidance and protection for all law enforcement officers who put their lives on the line to serve and protect others. May they be granted the courage to face the dangers that come with their duties. And may they be surrounded by your divine protection. For we pray in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. While presenting the flag of the United States and during the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem, it's appropriate and lawful that all citizens stand and place their right hand over their heart while facing the flag, in compliance with federal law and for the grateful honor of what the flag represents. Those in uniform and my veterans who are present and not in uniform are to render a military salute and remain silent. Uniformed personnel, members of the armed forces, my veterans, when the color guard gives the command, present arms. Please render the appropriate salute during the pledge and the national anthem. After the Pledge of Allegiance and national anthem, the color guard will give you the command, "Order arms," at which time you may stop saluting. Those in civilian attire can remove their hand from their heart at that time. Leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight will be Moreno Valley College Dean of Instruction over Public Safety, Phil Rawlings. Singing the national anthem for us from the Riverside County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Stephanie Martinez. Dean?
Uniform personnel, raise head, arm.
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
For me personally, while I have everybody standing, on May 12th, just a few days ago, we lost yet another family member to our department, Deputy Brett Harris, in a vehicle collision. If I could ask everybody one more time to bow your heads in a moment of silence for him and his family as I met them today here. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Class 22, take your seats. At this time, I'd have some honored guests this evening I'd like to introduce, if I could have them stand as I read their names. Up first tonight, join me on stage from Moreno Valley College, my counterpart that runs public safety for us, Dean Phil Rawlings. From the Desert Hot Springs Police Department, I have Chief of Police Jim Henson. From my Morongo Reservation Tribal Police Department, I have Chief of Police Randall Reynolds. From the Riverside Police Department, Chief of Police Larry Gonzalez. From the Sierra Madre Police Department, Captain Henry Amos. From our Val Verde Unified School District Police Department, Chief of Police Mark Clark. Joining us this evening from our California Peace Officer Standards and Training, I have my law enforcement consultants Matt O'Dean and Mario Moreno. And from the Riverside Sheriff's Department, we have Under Sheriff Donald Sharp. Chief Deputy Herman Lopez. Chief Deputy Misty Reynolds. And Chief Deputy Paul Bennett. You know, this graduation for us is the culmination of 26 weeks of intensive training, near 500 hours just for this portion for them. Our class seated before you today received instructions in areas of criminal law, community policing, patrol techniques, physical fitness. As you saw in the video, the list can go on, as I'm sure many of you are aware. To make the formal presentation for me of the Modular Academy Class 22, I'd like to introduce Sergeant Christopher Turnus from my agency. As Sergeant Turnus becomes what we all know as that drill instructor, that lead drill instructor for the Modular Academy. Throughout the academy, his position becomes that tutor, disciplinarian, and mentor to our recruits. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce Sergeant Christopher Turnus.
Thank you, Captain Peterson. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Modular Academy TAC staff, I would like to welcome you and thank you for your attendance tonight as we celebrate Modular Academy's Level 1 graduation of Class 22. The Modular Academy is a lengthy commitment, one attended nonstop nonstop. It spans over 13 months. It has consumed nights, weekends, birthdays, vacations, and that ever so valuable family time. But it is a commitment that these men and women have made with a goal in mind and the willingness to dedicate themselves to achieving it. At the completion of all 3 modular levels, each recruit will have completed over 913 hours of instruction. The recruits dedicated countless hours of preparation and studying on their own to be successful throughout the academy. Our training environment stresses high academics and a paramilitary environment. The recruits are challenged both mentally and physically and are expected to constantly strive for the best, not only by pushing themselves, but by pushing and motivating their classmates and working hard to finish as a team. Class, early on and throughout this academy, your TAC staff made each and every one of you a promise. We promise that your hard work, dedication, and many sacrifices would not go unrewarded. If you push through every challenge and obstacle you are confronted with, you will emerge at the completion of this academy a better, stronger person, and I feel we've kept that promise. Now it's up to you to continue moving forward. Continue accepting the challenges that help you grow, and continue to strive to make tomorrow better than today. We have never asked for perfection from any of you. We have only challenged you to find the strength, courage, and integrity you have inside and use it each day. I have watched each of you become mentally and physically stronger over the past 6 months. Of course, you've had some motivation from Corporal Bayani and Deputy Barker out on our infamous grinder. However, it takes a strong person to commit, put in the work, and never quit when the times get tough. For that, you should be proud. What you have showed during this academy, individually and as a class, is just the kind of courage, motivation, and compassion it takes to serve our communities as a peace officer. Now, as I stand here tonight and I see the sense of pride and accomplishment on this stage, I can say with enthusiasm that this class is strong, dedicated, and tough, and I'm proud to have the honor to assist you in completing this academy. Department heads, college administrators, and distinguished guests, it is my honor to hereby certify the recruits of Class 22 have met all the requirements as set forth by the California Commission on Peace Officers Standards and Training and by the Moreno Valley College, and are therefore qualified to graduate. I would now like to introduce Class 22's class president, recruit Jose Conde. There he is. Jose is 43 years old from Norco, California. Jose is married to his wife of 21 years, Erica. Jose has 4 daughters, Vanessa, 19, Emily, 15, Natalie, 15, and Liliana, 4 years old. Besides spending quality time with his family on the weekends, Jose also enjoys horseback riding on the great trails of Norco. Jose is also currently Level 2 Reserve Deputy with the Riverside County Sheriff's Department assigned to the Rupa Valley Station. Jose grew up in South Los Angeles. After graduating high school with honors in 1997, Jose attended ITT Technical Institute where he received his degree in electrical engineering. After college, Jose was hired as an instrument and electrical technician. After 10 years of working in this field, Jose was promoted up the ranks to supervisor. In 2017, Jose went back to college and received his state electrical construction maintenance certification. Jose is currently the operations manager of Evonik Corporation and will soon be celebrating 20 years with this company. Jose is passionate about helping his community and initially applied with us as a citizen volunteer where he was assigned to the Rupa Valley Station. After volunteering, 2.5 years later, Jose felt the need to expand his ability to help his community. Jose applied and was accepted into the Modular Academy at the Ben Clark Training Center. With dedication, service above self attitude, and motivation from his TAC staff, Jose decided to complete all 3 levels of his reserve deputy status. Jose has shown his leadership ability with this class, and he has earned their respect. His integrity, leadership, and professionalism are without question, hereby affirming Class 22's decision to elect him as their class president. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Class 22's president, recruit Jose Conde.
Thank you, Sergeant Turnus. Good evening, everyone. Class 22 is honored to have you here to celebrate our graduation tonight. I want to start by thanking family, friends, Sheriff Bianco, and esteemed guests. I also want to mention how honored I am and humble to speak here tonight on behalf of Class 22. To my fellow recruits, thank you for allowing me to represent you as your class president. Growing alongside you the past 26 weeks has been an honor. I am very grateful for the opportunity to speak here tonight. I realize I will not be standing here today without the motivation of the men and women that stood beside me in this challenging and rewarding academy. I want to recognize Vice President for Class 22, Ruby Lopez, our guide, Dominic Wynn, and to all the class committees that organize the class video, shirts, flag, coins, and class gift. I want to thank Recruit and Reserve Deputy Vaca that will come to the grinder on Sundays after his RSO shooting team training for 3 straight weekends to set our class gift. He reinforced the structure, treated the wood for termites, and professionally painted it. I want to thank Recruit Jonathan Reese and his numerous family members of the Morongo Band of Mission Indian Tribe for your generous donation to the class that allowed us to experience an excellent class dinner. Thank you to my RSO family, the Jurupa Valley and Norco Station, who helped me along the way. I want to especially thank my wife, Erica, for taking care of mom and dad duties for the last 13 months. And to my mother, Virginia, and Father Bernardo for keeping my horses in great shape during my absence. None of us would be here without the support of our great TAC staff. From day one, they dedicated their time, efforts, passion, and knowledge to us. Class 22 would like to thank you all. We would not have been successful without you. Thank you for molding us and making us who we are today. I always wanted to join the RSO Mounted Enforcement Detail Unit, but I had to be a level 1 reserve. I was planning to stop at level 2, but Corporal Bayani and Deputy Barker encouraged me not to hold myself short and push myself to be better. So here we are today. Sergeant Turnus, you set the bar extremely high, and we will not disappoint you. Thank you, DT staff, range staff, academy instructors, and EVOC staff. All the recruits are very grateful for all the hours of training and tremendous knowledge you have passed on to us. Thank you to our families, our loved ones that have stuck with us throughout this academy. We are forever grateful for your patience and unconditional love. We have all thought of you on our long, strenuous grinder nights. Thank you for being so supportive through the bad, long, and tiring days. We wish we didn't have to miss important events, birthdays, weddings, gatherings, and sporting events. For that, we promise to always love and support you all throughout our careers. Words cannot describe how thankful we are to have you all in our lives. We stand taller, speak a little louder, and have found something bigger than ourselves to be proud of. We had November marked on our calendar, the day we were going to start our new journey and find out what we were made of. The day we committed to focus and not give up. This was the day Class 22 took the first step in making our dreams come true. Even though it was 6 months ago, we remember that day as if it was yesterday. 26 weeks of days and nights have flown by. We're proud to say that we stand before you as Academy graduates. The loud sirens, the nonstop push-ups, and of course, the burpee of day one were just a taste of what was to come. On day one, we came as individuals and began our journey to become a team. As the days went on, we grew. We became more disciplined. We became stronger and faster. We all motivated each other daily so we could be here in front of you this evening. This made the sleepless nights, the 2 hours in traffic, the rocks, the grinder, the ladders, and the yelling all worth it. TAC staff once said, there is a method to the madness. Work hard, don't give up, and buy in. It took some of us longer than others, but we all reached the end of the tunnel together. We all had the will to survive. We were finally worthy and earned the right to be called a senior class. We started with 27 recruits, and I can proudly say we graduated 27 strong. Class 22 looks forward to the challenges ahead. Though this is just the beginning of our long journey in this rewarding career, this first step has prepared us and molded us to the men and women you see before you. To help those that can help themselves, put a dent in crime one day at a time, and provide service above self. Class 22, the lessons we've learned will always guide us in the days ahead. Always remember to be humble, remember where you came from, and remember to stay hungry. Look for new opportunities to grow. Learn and better yourself along the way. Have no fear of perfection, you'll never reach it. It's been a pleasure being with all you this evening and an honor to be among such accomplished individuals. Class 22, united we stand, together we serve. Hoorah!
Thank you, Jose. We're honored this evening to have as our keynote a former Academy Ben Clark Training Center sergeant from way years gone by, now Chief Deputy for the Sheriff's Department, Chief Paul Bennett.
Well, good evening. On behalf of Sheriff Chad Bianco and the Riverside Sheriff's Office, we thank you for joining us this evening to celebrate this significant event that many dream about, but very few bring it to reality. Going to hear a common theme. I'll steal a little bit of thunder. But the truth is, this is a difficult process. By design, the Academy in the modular format is extremely difficult. From 2008 to 2011, I had the privilege of supervising the Modular Academy, so I know firsthand the level of commitment, dedication, sacrifice required to complete all three modular formats, and I know personally how difficult it is. I helped design to make it difficult. When we began to develop the structure of the Riverside County Sheriff's Department Academy, we knew the academics alone by themselves are time-consuming and, quite honestly, overwhelming. Not to mention the academic requirements are delivered what we believe is in extreme and intense conditions. We intentionally designed it to see if you could operate and perform when it mattered the most. The Riverside Sheriff's Academy believes in the necessity of learning how to perform and operate under these conditions. That's actually part of the job requirements as a peace officer. Add lifetime fitness, defensive tactics, and the high demands of firearms proficiency required by our range staff. The expectations are almost superhuman for some of you, and may be unrealistic to achieve. But you've all proven that it is possible, because here you sit tonight. At the conclusion of Level 1, all California post mandates and legal requirements have been satisfied to become a state-certified police officer. And on your graduation certificate, it says, Riverside Sheriff's Office Academy. And when Sheriff Chad Bianco certifies your graduation, the entire law enforcement community in the state of California knows with absolute certainty you have earned the right to become a law enforcement officer. Because the Modular Academy, as we saw in the video and heard in some of the speeches, occurs and functions in the evening hours, makes for long nights, and the fact that it takes almost a year or a little over a year to complete all 3 levels, it's only human nature to move past a mere strict professional relationship of staff versus recruit and get to know the actual person on a more personal level. I can recall very real and honest conversations discussing the true sacrifices for some to make it to graduation. Full-time jobs, very little sleep, as we've heard, missing out on those family times and events and functions. Some would say they even felt like they were failing at home, and certainly work was suffering. If they weren't studying for the next learning domain, they were practicing the 10 codes, penal codes, memorizing the law enforcement code of ethics, and let's not forget prepping the uniform for inspection and grinder time. There simply were not enough hours in the day to master every aspect of the academy. In comes the unsung heroes, the family support at home. For this reason and this reason alone, I know without question, family support allowed for your success. And only those with strong family support, love, commitment, and understanding are sitting on this stage tonight. And for all of you loved ones that supported these recruits, this graduation ceremony is for you also. I personally salute you, and you are to be commended for your sacrifice and for your commitment. Very few will ever experience the sacrifice and dedication as these graduates and their loved ones to have made it to this night and graduate. Now, for my keynote thoughts for this evening, I'd like to encourage you to maintain and exercise the personal discipline, structure, and responsibility that afforded you the honor to sit on this stage. If you notice, I was very careful to describe the details of the academy format, just to remind you what can be accomplished when you are determined to achieve victory. Continue to be the best version of yourself. Embrace the grind. Take life one day at a time. Make wise decisions, making the most of every opportunity. But it does take extreme personal discipline. Remember, with great sacrifice comes great reward. Fight the good fight, finish the race of life, and run with the intent to win. In the same respect to personal discipline comes truth, integrity, and strong moral standards. Your word matters. Speak only the truth, no matter what the consequences. And speaking of truth, there still is absolute truth. There is right and wrong, and there is no compromise for absolute truth and righteousness. But this presents a great conflict by society standard. The conflict is people have dismissed truth and dismissed right and wrong. There is no truth. There is no right. Therefore, everything and anything goes. Public servants stand in that gap. The gap to ensure law and order, to enforce the rule of law and maintain a civilized society. This brings me to my final point. I mentioned earlier of some of the expectations of the Academy initially may have appeared to some of you almost unrealistic to achieve or accomplish. It's simply not possible. And yet here you are. We learned the human capabilities are amazing. If you raise the bar, people will respond. California law enforcement has continued to raise the bar for my entire career. What seemed to be impossible at one time is now the normal or routine practice. I encourage you to continue to raise the expectations and move beyond what seems impossible and make it the new norm. This will not happen by simply saying, I will do my best. I will try my hardest. Let me explain. Here's a great example why your best is insufficient. My wife is a career prosecutor with the Riverside County DA's office. And when selecting a jury for a pending trial, her strategy to ensure she picks the right person from the potential jury pool of candidates to answer one simple question. But that question comes with a story. For those that are married and have a significant other, the story goes as the husband's leaving with some fellas for the weekend to go to Las Vegas. They'll return Sunday night. And on the way out, of course, the wife says, be careful and honor your marriage vows. And the husband replies, I'll do my best. Not a lot of confidence in that response. Oh, I will try. No, you go beyond doing your best. You go beyond trying. And you will honor your commitment to your spouse. I think we would all agree with that. Honor the vows, stay true to the commitment, be the best version of yourself. You've heard it all, and you've lived it all now. This can carry you the rest of your life if you make the right decisions. Once again, congratulations to each of you. Congratulations for what you have just completed, for the sacrifices made, challenges overcome, and for having the fortitude to answer the call of one of the most challenging and honorable professions one can ever endure to pursue. Be very proud of what you have accomplished. Truly enjoy the honor that comes with this victory. Thank you. God bless all of you, and good evening.
Thank you, Chief. Folks, it's the moment I know the crew has been waiting for. We will now conduct the badge pinning ceremony and issue the Academy diplomas to the graduates. For my group pinning, if you could make your way over to the stage, off to the stairs, am I right? I appreciate it. To the audience, I certainly invite you to celebrate your loved ones' accomplishments. Feel free to applaud and cheer and let them know you're out there and proud of them. I'd like to invite the family members of each of our graduates to come forward and take photographs during this portion of the ceremony. Right down in front, right here where our department photographer is going to be. You may come up to the front when your family member or loved one is pinned. I just asked you, when you do that, to make sure they're standing up front and hence the next person behind them, and we take turns from there. After your photographs, if you could return to your seats, as obviously we have a large group. I would also like to invite back Dean Rawlings, if I could have you up here to present Academy diplomas. Up first for my other agencies tonight, I have Sierra Madre. Gents, right up there. Chris, you got them? You got them to where to go? Yep, yep. I have Captain Henry Amos and Sergeant Charles Kamchanam. For Sierra Madre, waited a long time for this. Officer Johnny Diegues. Thank you, gents. Up next tonight, the Desert Hot Springs Police Department. I know we have Chief Jim Henson, and assisting in pinning the badge, brother of our officer, Philip Estrada. For Desert Hot Springs, Officer Anthony Estrada. Up next, I have the Valverde Unified School District Police Department with their chief, Mark Clark, here for me. Officer Dominic Nguyen. Thank you, Chief. Up next, my Morongo Reservation Tribal Police Department. For my badge presentation, folks, I know we have Chief Randall Reynolds and brother of our new officer, Casino Director of Surveillance Christopher Reyes, for my pinning. Officer Jonathan Reese. Thanks, gents. Up next, the Riverside Police Department. If I could have Chief Larry Gonzalez. Officer Isaiah Santos. From our Sheriff's Department, Under Sheriff Donald Sharp. Pinning up first, Deputy Stephen Baca. And Deputy Jose Conde. Do it after, it's fine. And for my graduates from the Moreno Valley College, I have Dean Phil Rawlings for our first graduate tonight, Mr. Marcus Brown. Brown family, we don't mind you come right down on front. All right. Up next, Mr. Martin Carrillo. Mr. Jesus Carrillo Avila. Mr. Craig Corona. Miss Jessica Corona. Mr. Jesse Granillo. Miss Marlon Huerta. Miss Ashlyn Johnson. Mr. Jordan Clausen. Miss Elodia Lopez. Lopez, you can smile. It's finally time. Mr. Spencer Meeks. Mr. Scott Mendius. Mr. George Molina. Mr. Jesus Ramirez. Miss Erica Ramos. Miss Alejandra Soriano. Mr. Norman Starks. Mr. Bobby Valdivia. Valdivia, that's a solid job right there by the kids. Well done. Yep. And last, Miss Bertha Vasquez. Let's give him one more round of applause. Okay. Yep, I need to have you stay also. Okay. Dean, if I could have you stay as we reach the part that I know the kids have been looking forward to the entire time. Our academy very appropriately acknowledges superior achievement within the class. These are our special awards. Some get voted on, some are as a result of our variety of testing. Up first tonight, our award for top academic performer. We had a tie over quite a long time. This average of 94.5% across the academy was extremely well done, I have to say. Receiving our top academic performer, up first, recruit Ashlyn Johnson. And recruit, and let's just cue the kids now, Bobby Valdivia. Next up for us, top physical fitness. This recruit posted a perfect 100%. Extremely hard to do. Tonight, our top physical fitness goes to recruit Norman Starks. Our top scenario testing. It involves real life situations, real life role players, an extremely hard part of the academy. That's why it's put right at the end, so that we know you can take everything you've learned and put it to practice. This recruit had an overall score of 99.6%. Exceptional job. Receiving our top scenario testing award. Recruit Craig Corona. Next award, top report writer. This person scored a 100% across the entire academy. Extremely well done. If I could have Officer Dominic Nguyen from the Val Verde Unified School District. Next award, Top Gun. I know this one's often a big one amongst the recruits. Handgun, shotgun, combined scores over a lengthy time. This one even may or may not have come down to a secret tiebreaker at the range that I may or may not know about. Winning the Top Gun for Class 22, recruit Jordan Clausen. Our top overall, this recruit with the highest average combined scores across academics, physical training, scenarios, firearms, report writing, did an outstanding job of 97.2% across the entire academy. For top overall tonight, recruit Norman Starks. It was really good. Our last award, our CADA Award from the California Academy Directors Association. They represent all the basic peace officer academies up and down the state. They believe it's important to acknowledge academy recruits in each class who have been an inspirational role model for the other recruits, one who sets high standards and gets people to follow that person. Making this award more distinctive is the fact the recipient is nominated by the recruits themselves. Receiving our CADA Award tonight for Modular Academy Class 22, Officer Dominic Nguyen from the Val Verde Unified School District. Ladies and gentlemen, if we could give all of them a nice round of applause to close it out. Good. Yeah. Thanks, you too. If we could welcome back Stephanie Martinez. Deputy Martinez is going to be closing us out to sing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Outstanding job, Deputy Martinez. Thank you so much. The state of California requires that each of our recruits take an oath to support the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics. The recruits of Modular Academy Class 22 have memorized this code. We invite all sworn personnel in the audience to stand and reaffirm the Code of Ethics with the graduates. Leading Class 22 this evening will be our Academy Coordinator, Sergeant Turnus. They're yours.
Class 22, on your feet. You will now recite the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics. Ready, begin.
To my audience members, you certainly may be seated. As I close tonight's graduation ceremony, I'd certainly like to thank Chaplain Mazizzi, members of our color guard, made up of peace officers from our department. I'd like to thank Moreno Valley College, Dean Rawlings, and all of your staff for the continued support of all of our programs, quite frankly. The Academy staff would sincerely like to thank the families of our graduates. I know the Chief spoke on it. I think we each touch on they would not be here making it through this process if it weren't for you. We recognized your sacrifice, and we certainly appreciate it as it got them here today. Lastly, I'd certainly like to thank our Riverside Pipe and Drum Band for their appearance. That tradition of piping and drumming and leading battlefield marches dates back to Ireland, Scotland, and the early days of, quite frankly, our entire history. And now, as it moves forward in the law enforcement community and profession. Finally, my staff, exceptional job by all of you in getting them here. Chief spoke on how difficult the entire process is. As Class 22, your dedication to what they spoke of you will change and become a better person, better values, and a better way of thinking and an outlook for yourself in your service has certainly paid off, and we all saw the transition. Exceptional job. Honored guests, family and friends, that concludes our ceremony. If you could allow the graduates time to exit the auditorium and welcome them outside. For family and friends of our two Riverside County Sheriff folks, the Undersheriff is going to be swearing them in here on the stage immediately after, and you're certainly welcome to stay. Sergeant Turnus, for the final time, you may dismiss your class.